Welcome back to NoticeGT. I'm joined today again with Mac, and for our first story I want to talk about a little bit of a sad story. A Florida kid had recently had an absolutely horrible accident on the I-75, and as you can see, it wasn't pretty. The engine was literally flung out of the car. The two occupants were airlifted with serious injuries, and I pray that they will be okay. But I would like to point out that the A and B pillar are still intact, which is probably why they still have a chance. Now for our next story, I want to talk about Chevy, who, wanting to cash in on the electric trend, have announced the Blazer and Equinox EV. And the reason I bring this up is because the Blazer that's scheduled for this summer is already all reserved, but the Equinox that's going to be released this fall doesn't have any reservations yet. So dealerships are making their own reservation lists, which obviously will not create any problems, because it's not like everyone has ever reserved a car and then the manufacturer has gone, yeah, no. It's never happened before. But I would like to give you details on the Equinox EV, but I'm not interested. Now let's talk about probably one of the smartest car companies, Toyota. They have just announced that they will introduce a new small pickup truck to compete with the Maverick and Santa Cruz, and they will call it the Stout. Now they expect to release it in 2025 because the Santa Cruz is still unable to take major market share from the Maverick, and Toyota believe that they can take over the segment, much like how their Tacoma outsells just about all its competitors. Now, this will basically be a RAV4 with a bed, and it will probably come with a off-roading option, and with the hybrid system of the RAV4, I'm sure they will sell a shit ton. But I'm not interested in a TRD version of this. I want to see a GR Ute version of this. That would be cool. Now for our next story, I know that this is a car channel, but I want to talk about bikes. The National Bike Motorcycle Museum in Iowa is going to be closing down its doors, mostly because it was unable to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, and on September the 6th through the 9th, it will put all its motorcycles and over about 1,000 lots of artwork and memorabilia on auction. Now, if you have some money and some time, I think this would be a lot of fun. Registration is about $100 and you can bring a guest. And some of these bikes are actually really cool. This one is a 17-foot long with an engine from a 4-cylinder from a Nova, and outweighs a Nova actually. And if you want to check out their collection, you can still go to the museum till September the 5th, and if enough people go, maybe they could actually save it. Now, I know that in the last month it was the 25th birthday of the R34 GTR, which means that it can now legally be imported into the US. Now, that doesn't mean that all R34s can be imported, only the ones made in May of 1998. The later models, as they cross the official 25-year mark, then they can be legally imported. Now, 41 is a completely different story, because this car has everything it needs to make it expensive. I mean, it has a cult following from nostalgic movies, ridiculously low production run, a huge aftermarket and tuning culture. The only bad thing about buying one is that you're usually picking up where someone else left off. Find me a stock GTR and damn, I don't even have $1. That was it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and peace.